here. I just want to go over a chart pattern which you'll find very commonly. It's we don't cover it on the course. It's more a mentorship type subject. Yeah, so basically what we look for obviously in the market is higher highs and higher lows, so that we can have a look for our trends. And also ranges where you get the two highs and the two lows at the same points, and we can obviously trade between those points. But another thing that you might want to have a look out for is what we call triangles. It's when you have got a higher low and a lower high in the market. So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. As you can see on my screen here at the moment, there's no clear higher highs or higher lows. It's doing making a higher low, but then a lower high, and then a higher high. Even I get confused with these lows and highs. So yeah, it's got a low, a high, a higher low, and then a lower high, followed by a higher high. And if we were to try and draw trend lines between these 2 points, or between these points, then you'll see that you've got an upward sloping trend line and also a downward sloping trend line. So it's not an upward trend and it's not a downward trend. And if we extend these lines along, then you'll see what happens is it actually makes a triangle. If you want, you can put on the triangle shape, just go to Insert, Shapes, Triangle, and then you can join the dots basically from there to there to there. We've got our nice triangle shape on. So when you're looking at a triangle, there's rules for a triangle. So first of all, what you would do is you would have a look to see what is the height of that triangle. So we get our crosshair tool here, and we take from the very top of the triangle and we draw a vertical line down to the bottom trend line. So you can see here we've got about a 400 pip movement from the top to the bottom of that triangle. And most often the triangle breaks about 75% of the way along the triangle. So from 75% you can expect a breakout. Excuse me. And then when it breaks out of that particular shape, it should move the same distance. So if the height was 400 pips, then we look for a break and we measure up 400 pips upwards, and that would be our target. So from the break of the triangle up 400 pips, that would be our target. So there's a couple of different ways that you can trade it. So number one, you can just wait for a nice bullish candle or just a break of that level there, significant break, and then that would obviously be your target. Now, question is, where do you put your stop loss? Well, ideally below this low, but the only thing is that it only doesn't give you a particularly good risk reward. It gives you about a 1.7 there, and if you wanted to wait for your entry on that big bullish candle, it only gives you a 1.2. So then another thing that you can do is you can put your stop loss kind of halfway in the height of the triangle, and that would give you a nice 2-to-1 look. But then you'd also want to just look left here and just see, is there any other support and resistances? Maybe it would be wise to just put it below this height, either this low here or just slightly above these levels here. That gives you more nearer a 2-to-1. The other thing that you can do is once it's broken, very often it retraces and gives us a B, C going. So then you could obviously enter on that C point, and then you can have your your stop loss just below, as we teach you on the course, and then you could have that as your target, and that would give you a nice 4.2 to 1. So sometimes you see them and they can work out quite nicely, but it's all based on the triangle pattern and basically trading it up to the height. The height basically on the break is obviously your target, and you can see how it actually would have worked very nicely on this occasion. So yeah, I'll also do a little section, I think next week, on wedges as well. They're very similar, just slightly different shape. And then yeah, give me a shout if you've got any questions regarding the triangles or anything else. Hop onto the chat room, give me a call, come into the office. We're here to help. Thanks a lot.